Ladies and gentlemen, in this RedGamingTech.com video, we're going to be taking a look at the Steam holiday deals. It is, of course, the 28th of December, or a Friday to you and I. And there are some reasonable ones today. Still no Far Cry 3, but I think we've given up on that by now. So, first one I think we're going to go with is Prototype franchise. There's no actual franchise pack for this, but there is a Prototype 1 and Prototype 2. Prototype 1 has 75% off for £3.74, and Prototype 2 has 50% off, also known as $9.99. Prototype 1 and 2 are both sandboxes where you've got a ridiculous amount of superpowers at your disposal and you're able to basically morph into different people, for example, to disguises, turn your arms into deadly weapons and so forth. It's not, in my opinion, as good as Infamous, although some people, such as Amata, would disagree, although they're wrong. However, in a serious note, Prototype 1 is, in my opinion, the far better game than number 2. Prototype 2 feels a lot like a rehash, which of course you'd expect, but the graphics are inferior and the writing not so good, to be honest with you. And to be honest with you as well, the storyline doesn't really make as much sense. And of course it's a comic book, so it doesn't really make much sense to begin with, but it's even more so on this one. And a lot of it's not really explained, and you just don't really feel like actually playing the game after a while. It's just that bad. Prototype 1, on the other hand, is very cool, and I can understand the appeal behind it. It's a very good game, and to be honest with you, for £3.74, it's well worth checking out, especially if you're a fan of either Grand Theft Auto, although it's not quite like that, or Infamous on the PlayStation, or just randomly creating carnage and destruction. And you can, for example, run up buildings and take out tanks and throw them at people, or, for example, morph into a soldier after you've killed him, of course, and then murder all these friends while his friends look at you and wonder as if, why did you kill me? I don't understand, brother. So it's pretty cool. Next one is Limbo. Limbo is a very cool game. I've mentioned this in several videos before. I picked it up on kind of a whim, and there is a demo of it, by the way, available. Oh, by the way, also on Prototype 2, we did cover it in an RGT video, so check that out. Limbo is a pretty cool game. It is a stencil look to it, to be honest with you, but has a ridiculous amount of atmosphere, and it basically tells the story of a little boy trying to escape and not die, and by which I not die, I mean he will die probably several times through the adventure at least. The puzzles are fiendish, and the whole thing is silent, and there's not really any narration required, however, throughout the entire game. But it's not particularly long. You could probably finish it, not too much time at all. But the difficulty with this is actually the puzzles themselves. They're not always obvious solutions, and there's quite a few times you can kind of fall to your death. It is a little bit brutal. To be honest with you, I would highly recommend you pick it up. It works really well with controller. It's not too bad with keyboard and mouse. It works fine, but in my opinion, controller is probably the slightly better way to go. It also works fairly well with lower end systems as well, and it's pretty small install, only around 150 megs. As I mentioned before, this game is a great example to anyone who's wondering, do games need to have incredibly bright, shiny graphics? And the answer is no. Just take a look at Limbo. It's a very good game, and for the price, it's well worth having it in your collection. Next one is Just Cause 2. Just Cause 2 is a ridiculously destructive game, and it's currently available for 75% off, or £3.49. The best way to describe Just Cause 2 would be almost like Far Cry 3, but with absolutely ridiculous use of physics. Just Cause 2 features ridiculously pretty graphics, and it's almost like taking the piss out of many Hollywood action movies. The game features a protagonist, Rico Rodriguez, and basically he's given multiple missions throughout the game. It's actually fairly good looking, and the use of the game's physics are subject to many memes across the internet, with his grappling hook somehow managing to slow down his descent as he goes to the ground. This means you can literally jump from a helicopter and use your grappling hook to, say, go to a moving vehicle and grapple hook to that vehicle, then murder everyone in that vehicle, then jump to a different vehicle, and by the way, to actually jump to that vehicle, you can actually deploy a parachute, be propelled about 50 feet into the air, then grapple hook down to the next vehicle and so forth. It's absolutely ridiculous amounts of carnage. And to be honest with you, it's ridiculous fun as well. It didn't sell quite as well as I expected it to back when it was released in 2010, but it is well worth checking out. It's a very fun game. It isn't without faults. Sometimes the physics can work against you, and you have to kind of suspend disbelief, but it is very cool. The weapons cache is quite nice as well, and to be honest with you, is well worth picking up. It is worth noting, however, that if you happen to have a very old graphics card or still using Windows XP, you're SOL on this game. This requires DirectX 10 upwards, so you're going to have to require Vista or Windows 7 or a moderner graphics card. But I don't think that's going to be a problem for many of you, to be honest with you. It's a very fun game, and I'd recommend it. There's also quite a few pieces of DLC for this one as well, and they're actually available in some instances for a ridiculously low 18 pence. So, yeah. Not too shabby at all, in my opinion, and well worth the price. Next one. Sins of a Solar Empire Rebellion. I've covered this on an RGT video, and despite the fact that I was absolutely awful at it, it is a very fun space strategy RTS game that features very impressive graphics, to say the least. I have to say that this is one of the prettiest space games that I've actually played. It was released in June of 2012, in other words this year, and has a certain appeal to it. For those of you who are into strategy games, I definitely would recommend this one. It features massive combat, and it's an RTS game that I think many are going to appreciate. It also features a pretty great multiplayer. Once again, I'd encourage you to check out the video to at least give you an idea of how it runs. As I said, I was pretty terrible at it, but then again, I don't play many of those space strategy sims, but it does give you a general idea of what it's like, especially if you're on the fence of the game and you're not really sure, if you're new to the series, whether you're going to be able to get into it too effectively or not. In my opinion, it is fairly intuitive, and after a little bit you will get used to things. Next up is the Left 4 Dead bundle. You can pick up both games for £5.74, or you can pick up Left 4 Dead 1 for £3.24, or you can pick up number 2 for £3.74. In my opinion, Left 4 Dead 2 is probably the slightly better game to go for. I wouldn't really worry about the bundle on this one, as it's mostly multiplayer focused. You can, however, pick up a bundle of this 4-pack for £11.24. It's a ridiculously fun game, but in my opinion it is best with friends. I don't actually know that many people that own it, which is a bit awkward. But you can play it solo if you so desire. It's quite fun and doesn't really do anything particularly new. It's basically a zombie apocalypse thing where you want to survive with a group of strangers. It was released in 2008, November, if you're talking about Left 4 Dead 2, and it's pretty awesome. It's kind of zany and over the top, but that's just what you want from a zombie game, to be honest with you. It does support controller, but I don't think why anyone would actually want to. It's basically based upon the Half-Life 2 engine with some modifications. It's a very cool game, and I'd recommend checking it out if you're interested in multiplayer. And if you're interested in a single-player experience, it's not bad single-player. You'll probably enjoy it. It's just better multiplayer. Next one is Assassin's Creed franchise. So currently you've got Assassin's Creed 3 for minus 25%. That brings it to $29.99. Do not buy this game on Steam, and there's a reason behind it. Instead, go to greenmangaming.com. I don't work for these guys, I promise. But if you go there, you can pick up Assassin's Creed 3 for £21, okay? What you do, you go to Assassin's Creed 3 and make sure you're choosing the download version and add it to your basket, and there's a code on their website. It's not too hard to find. It's basically shown on the front page as one of the deals that flash by. It begins with GMG30. I'm not going to bother to write into the description, but if you enter that code when you go to the checkout, you can pick up Assassin's Creed 3 for $21, okay? It's 30% off any download game, so I'd highly recommend you ignore the Steam deal. It is a fantastic game, and there are playthroughs and stuff on RGT with Spoonie Kipper playing it, not myself. Ramata, so definitely check it out if you're so interested. However, for those of us, such as myself, who still have yet to bloody well play any of the Assassin's Creed, I know you people are probably getting pitchforks by now, you can, however, pick up the titles at pretty good prices. This includes, of course, Assassin's Creed 1, the Director's Cut for £2.49, 75% off. 75% off Assassin's Creed 2, the Deluxe Edition, that's $2.99. Brotherhood, 75% off again for $4.99. And just to be an awkward bastard, 66% off for Revelations. That brings it to the rather princely sum of £10.19. So, once again, good deals on those, but I'd ignore Assassin's Creed 3 because, well, why the hell would you want to pay $21? There are a couple of other good deals available on the Flash deals. These will be available for about another 10 hours. By the way, guys, I'm actually going to be covering Flash deals on the Facebook page. So, because I'm pretty much not working for a couple of days more, so I'm going to basically be on it as much as possible and just letting you guys know what deals I think are good on there. Stronghold 3, I've covered an RGT video and I'd recommend you check it out. It's a pretty cool game, actually. And it's kind of one of those games you have to play to really get into. The graphics aren't bad and it's a strategy type of thing. And it was our video was actually featured on their official page, by the way. I quite like the game. It got slated somewhat in some reviews, but I think it's quite fun. Very medieval, of course, but it's a pretty cool game and I'd recommend you check out our video. What other games are there on this awesome deal day? Prince of Persia. You can actually pick up the Prince of Persia franchise, the entire set, which is what? How many games? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, for 75% off, or £10.74. You can also pick up the original Prince of Persia for £2.49, Sands of Time £1.74, Forgotten Sands £3.24, The Two Thrones £1.74, or The Warrior Within £1.74. This is actually a really good gaming series. Once again, I haven't actually played it all the way through. But of course, Prince of Persia is based upon a very, very old game on ancient systems, which I'm sure many of you would not have ever played. Forgotten Sands is the latest of the titles, and it's probably worth picking up by itself. It features very, very nice art styles, good bosses, and so forth. And it works probably best with a controller, in my opinion. There are other good titles in the series, however, so I'd encourage you to check them all out and do some of your own research before you cough up the cash. Next one is Modern Warfare 3, 50% off this one, which isn't too bad. It's also 50% off of Black Ops 1, that's $19.99, or $19.99 for Warfare 3. You can also pick up the Modern Warfare Collection, both 1 and 2, for 50% off. Various other bits and bobs, all the Black Ops 1 content, including Call of Duty 4, and so on. There is no money off Black Ops 2. In my opinion, if I were you, I'd either buy Modern Warfare 3, since it's still got an online gaming experience, or I'd buy Black Ops 2, which has got a slight discount, although you might be able to get it somewhat cheaper other places. Call of Duty 4 has a pretty good single player, in my opinion, but I'm not sure I paid $10 for it now. Most people would agree that most of the reason you're going to play Call of Duty is the online, and I don't know necessarily if I'd want to pay £20 for Black Ops 1, is basically what it comes down to. Black Ops 2 is the far newer game, and Black Ops 2 is the far newer game, and the one that people are going to be playing online now. And Modern Warfare 3, people are going to be playing right now. Of course, Modern Warfare 4, will be on its way soonish, but hey, at least you can play something until then. I'm not going to get into the whole Modern Warfare versus Black Ops debate. I'm not even touching that with a barge pole, but you've got your options. In my opinion, don't buy Black Ops 1. Some people do prefer Black Ops 1 to 2, just the way the game works overall in terms of the class system and the way you level up and earn points and so on. Not going to get into that one either, but in my opinion, if you've not played Black Ops 1 or 2, you might as well just get the latest one because it's going to have more of an online mode than Black Ops 1. So yeah. I think that will do it for now. I think that's just pretty much everything. So anyway, hopefully you guys have enjoyed the video. one last thing, for those of you who are looking for a cheap copy of Far Cry 3, there are a couple of places you can pick them up. One of them is shop2.net, are doing it pretty cheap if you're in the UK. They will ship to you for free, I believe. Amazon are doing it reasonable. Shop2, I think it starts for $21 on PC. £21, that is, not dollars, I'm sorry. And you can get from Green Man Gaming for about the same, and you still have to use the same code as you would for the Assassin's Creed that I mentioned earlier. So you just type in Far Cry. I don't remember what the deluxe edition would cost you. I think it's about 23, 24, and I think the standard edition will cost you, I think it's 21 or 21.50 or something like that. Anyway, so yeah, hopefully you guys have enjoyed the video. Rate, subscribe, you know the drill. Keep a look on the Facebook page, so make sure you like us on Facebook, and have fun and take care of yourselves. Bye for now.